This is a legitimate question. I'm serious. Is it okay to go to New Orleans when Mardi Gras is not happening? Do you go to Churchill Downs in Kentucky when the Kentucky Derby is not running? Do you go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday? Do you go to Cannes, France when there is no Cannes International Film Festival happening that week?
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
We did it.
We did it. We did do it. We did do it. And you can too.
Yes. Because the festival's only 1 week out of the year.
And so for the other 51 weeks of the year, you're totally in the clear.
Yeah.
And you can go, we walked red carpet type
Yes.
things. There's a carpet down.
Yeah, you can see all the stuff. They leave it up.
Yeah.
Because, it's a festival. It's an A-list festival. It's the A-list festival that happens like every year that everyone goes to. And so they leave the red carpet down. They leave the posters up of all the famous people.
So you see all the actors. It's like a walk of fame, except it's all these pictures of all these actors. You're going to recognize these guys.
But there's lovely things to do if you're not there for the festival that 1 week of the year. So any other time that you go, it's lovely and amazing and beautiful. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Not only should you go, but you can go.
You definitely can.
We go to the south of France in just a few moments. That's Marie over there.
That's Frank.
Voca Vacay starts right now.
Prepare yourself for the bestest, amazingest, and overall super duperest travel program in the history of ever. Vacation like it's your job and live vicariously through yourself. It's time now for Voca Vacay.
Once again, our global media empire is expanding. We've added 3 more countries of Voca Vacay listeners since last we met.
I cannot even.
I know.
I'm so excited.
It's so cool.
Okay, tell me what they are.
We'd like to thank our friends, and we announced these in the order in which they entered.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
So it's not alphabetical, but it's like we have 3 countries now. Bangladesh.
That is just crazy.
United Kingdom.
Oh, well, I expected that.
Oh, yeah.
We're English, and so we're in English. I was actually shocked that other countries would pick us up.
Yeah.
Because not everybody speaks English in the world.
Like the other country joined us, Russia.
Oh, da.
Does everyone in America, when you say Russia, they'll go, da?
I
Does
think so.
everyone do that as a reflex? We totally did it. So
if
now,
not, they should.
Thanks so much to our new buddies in Bangladesh, United Kingdom, and in Russia. Thanks for playing along.
That's awesome.
And we will always give a global shout out to our new buddies as they join in.
Yes.
Because we love having Voca Vacay basically all over the place.
I want Voca Vacayers all over the world.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there, my sweet. So as it's happening, life is good.
Yeah.
Welcome to these 3 new countries. And they are here again so they can listen to us talk about Cannes, France.
Yes.
French Riviera.
Yes.
By the way, you love this place, right? I mean, you are south of France. You're all over this part of the world.
I always wanted to go to Provence.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to see the Côte d'Azur, the French Riviera. And I always wanted to go to Cannes because, we make films.
Yes.
We teach filmmaking.
This is actually, we are, this is what we do for a living.
Yeah. And so I am enamored by the festival and all the goings on there. And I always like to see who gets in every year and look for those films when I can view them when they get to the general public.
Yes.
But I've always loved this part of the world because, number one, I'm a foodie and I love me some of the wines.
The food is good. The wine is good.
Yeah. And I'm just a fan of that whole lifestyle, the living, the, driving in your convertible with your scarf flowing in the air.
It's a lifestyle. It's an attitude.
The French
it's just
Riviera.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And here's the day. I don't know how people wake up there in a bad mood.
Oh, my gosh.
And we're going to talk about what it looks like. But when you go over there, how do people get into, I'm in a bad mood, blah, 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 blah. It's like you wake up with, hello, I live in the south of France, blah, blah, blah. That's how you should be.
Exactly how people sound. Not really, but we're Americans, so that's what you see in the movies.
Yeah, that was a cross of Pepe Le Pew and a snooty French waiter that I just pulled off. So you're welcome.
Look, it's an incredibly laid back place that is full of beauty that you almost think, I don't deserve this. And people live there and you're like, how did you do this?
Yeah.
This is a crime. How'd you get away with this? This is committing, you got away with murder. I would love to just be able to move there and just live every day.
It's a wonderful place.
It's
so
beautiful.
South of France. So we're talking about France here, but it's the south of France, the French Riviera.
Yeah.
This is not Paris. This is not the Paris show or anything like that.
No.
In fact, we flew. And let's explain first how we got there.
Let's just start there.
Because we flew in and spoiler alert, We flew in on New Year's Eve.
We did.
This is important, and
Yes.
for reasons you'll find out in a few moments. We flew in on New Year's Eve, and we flew into Paris.
We did. We connected in Paris from the States.
Yes.
And then we hopped on to...
A regional flight,
yes,
basically.
down to Marseille.
Yeah, and we're saying Marseille because we always thought it was Marseille.
I did.
It's not. In France, because we said, how do you say it? They go, oh, it's Marseille.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually pronouncing it as they would
Yes,
and how they taught us to.
If we botch some other things this show, that one's at least right, we know.
What, you don't speak French fluently? No, I do not. Garçon. So anyway, so we fly into Marseille.
Yeah.
And from there, and the backstory on this is that we were going to take a cruise, and
Yes.
at some point we'll talk about the cruise, not this show, but at some point we'll tell you about the cruise we went
Yes.
on. But it was departing from Marseille, and we got there a few days early because we thought, let's go see the south of France.
Yes.
And then we'll hop on the cruise and do the cruise thing, and then, fly back to the States.
And so can I say, this was our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And so this was a special thing. So, of course, when you surprised me by getting a cruise, I immediately was like, when is it? And you were like, these dates. And I was like, nope, back it up, son. Back it up. Because if we're going anywhere near the south of France and Provence and the French Riviera, we're spending a few days before the cruise.
Okay, now me being a guy, I was like, well, we can get the cruise, so we'll have a Delta flight connecting there. And we'll get the cruise, because I was just planning on landing that afternoon.
And then getting on the ship.
And getting on the ship.
Right.
To which my long-suffering wife, Marie, says, no. And by the way, when we're, and let me just preface something by saying, we're incredibly average folks here. So when we talk about, we took a cruise on the south of France, guys, it's the off-season.
Right.
That's the only way we can swing.
Yeah.
This.
And, we're teachers, so we kind of have to go in the off-season.
Yeah.
So, it kind of works out for us.
It was our winter break. So let's not go, oh, they picked up winter France. Well, yeah, but should have seen the deals we got. Holy moly.
Yeah.
But then we fly over on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And we do the Paris to Marseille.
Yes. And then you can go, if you can fly closer to Cannes, and you would fly from Marseille to Nice.
Yes.
But we rented a car since we had a few days, and I wanted to zip around and, all the stuff.
You wanted to see me drive in the French countryside.
I wanted to see you
which
try.
Is scary as,
and you did
yeah.
great.
No,
but
thank
anyway,
you.
but no,
white knuckle the whole time.
So we ended up just driving into Cannes from Marseille.
Yes.
And so if you look at the French Riviera, it's sort of like,
it dips down.
It dips down. But if you drive at the foothills of the French Alps, it almost is like a straight line from Marseille over to Cannes.
Yes.
And so that's the way that we drove in.
Yeah, and if you think about it visually, just think about like someone smiling at you, where it's like the top lip, if it's straight across, the bottom lip is more, circled down or whatever.
Right.
That's what the South of France looks like. I'm just trying to make a visual here if you don't see us on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like we thought, hey, we'll just go straight across.
Yeah.
From Marseille. Now, the thing is, we went to, I think it was Thrifty Rent-A-Car.
Yes, we did.
We just got a regular rental car. And by the way, they all speak English there, thankfully. Oh my God.
We got a regular rental car, but we got the same rental car that we had gotten once before when we had traveled to Scotland.
Yes.
And I was so happy to get this car because we were used to it. And in Scotland, we were on the other side of the road.
Yes.
And you were in the other side of the car.
Yes.
So I
Weird.
felt very comfortable. This was a Renault Clio. I highly recommend if you're going, and they're not sponsoring us or anything.
I wish they would. Hey, Renault Clio, put one in our driveway. I love this car.
But
absolutely love this car.
It's incredibly, it felt safe. It felt rugged. It felt
it's beefy enough to go around in, but small enough that you can park anywhere.
Because there's incredibly small cars in Europe. And as an American, I don't need a huge car. I don't drive an SUV or anything like that. But I do like to feel safe because I've never driven here before.
Yeah.
And so we knew the car. We felt really good in it. This time you're on the right side of the car, which is actually the left.
We're on the correct.
You were on the correct side of the car.
We're on the correct side.
So I felt really I was like, oh, we've got this down. But I have to say, GPS.
You got to get a GPS.
You have to get GPS.
Yeah. And when you get the GPS, it will offer you two options, basically. It's like, would you like to take the scenic route? I don't know why it speaks to me in a French accent over there. You can take the scenic route. It is not on the bottom. It's on the coast. And that road, there's actually a word for it that I looked up and I'm totally good. It's that's the Côte d'Azur
It's the Côte
road.
d'Azur. It's the French Riviera.
Okay.
And it goes down past Toulon and Saint-Tropez. And you can go see all of these nice little harbor towns where all the yachts are.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to see a lot of that. And we ended up, later we'll talk about, we did go to Nice.
Yes.
And we did see some more of the French Riviera other than just Cannes.
Yes.
But I did, you can do that. You can go that route and really stop and take your time. But we had just landed from a really long haul international flight.
Yes.
And so we kind of just wanted to get there.
We're just get there.
Yeah.
So we took what's called the A8, which is the La Provençale Road.
It's
La
Provençal.
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 Yeah,
Provençal.
I am not
I am
good
really
at this.
bad at French.
I'm worse.
So, but anyway, listen, this road is at it's at the foothills of the French Alps, and it is everything. You see all of the grapevines, and you realize how many people make wine
Everyone.
in the south of France.
Everyone in France makes wine.
It is so amazing.
Oh, it's everywhere. And the villages, I hate to use the word quaint lightly. It's like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a quaint, but no, these suckers are quaint.
Yeah.
They've got quaintness down
It
over
is
there.
so good. So yeah, we went that way and got to see a lot of the scenery, and you see the Alps in the background, and you can look over and you start to, when you get closer to Cannes,
Yes.
you realize you are hitting the coast, and you're like, now there's sea and beach and water, and it's pretty. I mean, it's a feast for the eyes for sure.
It is a lovely place. And by the way, and just as you're driving, quick sidebar before we're getting to Cannes, here's what happened. We're going along, and Marie had a great idea, which is whenever you go on vacation, and we talked about this a couple of podcasts before, you always bring back coins. I like to have 1 or 2 coins and
this
say,
is so
yeah,
funny.
yes, I've been to this place. We look down, and they're on the euro, of course, and we've got like, I don't want to say stacks of euros, but we've got like $50, $60, $80 worth of euros in coins, because we go over there, and it just adds up. It's pocket change, and after a while, you've got a lot of pocket change. She went through, and to your credit, you did this, and I did not want to do this. I really wanted to watch TV that day. But for some reason, you're like, you know what we need to do? I'm like, no, God, no. You said, let's go ahead and put the coins into individual baggies.
I did.
So there's a Ziploc bag with 2 euro coins, 1 euro coins, 50 cent, 25 cent.
Yeah.
All the denominations you can possibly handle.
How much do you think we actually had in coins when we got there?
I think we had about 70 American dollars
I think so
worth.
too. It was like 50, 60, or 70. I can't remember, but it was up there.
Yeah, and and we're not going to do the exchange rate because it fluctuates, but it's like 50 to 80 bucks. That's the ballpark we're in, because we've been there, enough that you just come back with a lot of coins.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so now they're in the individually lunch
That's
baggies.
a very Monica thing that I did, was just sort them. But here's the thing, it was weird because you were like, okay, I follow your logic. We're going to use these at some point. Sure. We can't use them in the States. Mm-hmm. We hit a toll booth. And I looked at him and went, I was right.
Yeah. And there's nothing like being on a vacation in a foreign country and find out just what an idiot you have been your entire life. And thankfully, my wife was there to correct my wrongdoing.
Not that I rubbed it in at all.
Oh, not at all. Not for the entire trip or coming back.
I was like, so what do you think about my coin baggies now?
I'm like, this one costs €2.80. Do we have $2.80? He's like, yes. Do you want exact change? And then, no. And here's what she does. She's like, okay. And I'm like, give me a 2 and a 50 and a 20 and 10. That's 4 coins. Oh no. Suddenly it's like, if I give you 4 20s, a 50, a halfpence, a shilling, I'm like, just give me whatever.
Because we had more of the lower ones than the higher ones. And so I was trying to get rid of them. But here's the thing, because you have to be spatially aware when you travel at any time.
Yes.
It's just like, courtesy. Like,
damn coins.
know who's around you and like, be smart.
There was no one behind us.
I did not hold up traffic.
No.
I just have to say.
There was no one behind us, and
Yeah.
the toll booths that we went through had multiple lanes, and we're the only ones driving at any given time anyway.
But I did spend a lot of the time just ruffling through bags
on
the A8 trying to get there.
Yeah, so she's
Half
doing
out
that.
of my gourd because we just got off a flight.
Yeah, and she's trying to count foreign money. I'm just like, can I just eat a sandwich or do something while you're rummaging through little
It
change
was awesome.
bags?
I
Plural.
was so proud of myself. Still am.
So here's the deal. If you go through the toll booths, whenever you're going someplace, if you're going back, keep a couple of coins for the kids, for souvenirs, memories. I get that. That's cool. That's a memento. Sure, why not? But if you are going back to a country and you have those coins, they're still good. You can take those back and spend them.
They've just started piling up in your space at home, and you're like, these aren't going anywhere.
No.
Just go ahead and take them.
Yeah, it's not going to rust on you. But take them back.
So we were lucky because of my awesome idea, and so we used the coins in the toll booth, the toll booths. Plural.
Booths. There were multiple boothies that wanted coinage.
So be aware, this is a toll road.
And the thing is about when it's a toll road, you can also take credit cards, debit cards. And again, not spoiler alert, but just, traveler's tip, make sure your cards are primed for the country to which you're going.
Call your bank, call your credit card company, and tell them where you're traveling.
And the dates.
Well, see, we're old school. We say call. All you really got to do is log in and set it in the settings. They do that now.
I was
That's what I did last time.
I was going to send a note on a dirigible, and maybe Western Union was going to have it on a stagecoach. I don't know, Wells Fargo. But yeah. Contact them. Let them know you're going to France.
Yes.
And they will be jealous.
Sure.
So, okay. So we drive there, yes?
Yes. And so we're starting to get closer, and it is so cool. You start to go down, leaving the foothills of the French Alps, and
you're going towards the coast.
Closer to the coast.
Sure.
And you start to get into Cannes, and then you start to see like all of the apartments and all of the people living in the hills that overlook the harbor.
Yes.
And then you start to get closer to the harbor, and it's just really cool and like cute, and the streets were cool and windy, and we're driving, and I'm not about to die. I thought I was going to die leaving that flight, and I'm wide awake now because I'm like, ooh, look at that. Look at that. You did a great job driving, by the way.
Okay, thank you. And let me point something out. While we're talking about how you're looking at all the sights, and oh, look at that. I'll put the McCheese there, and oh, these are the happiest cows ever, and look at these vineyards. This is my navigator who's being distracted by the flora and fauna of France. So I'm just trying to get there because I have not slept.
Right.
You sleep on the plane, whatever. It's like, there's jet lag and all these other things going on. And I'm driving them in a foreign country. So, oh, look at there. What's the name of that mountain? What's that? It's like, I'm in a road. I'm driving in kilometers per hour, which I can't convert because I'm an American. I don't know, but it's get me there.
Yeah, sure.
But we got there.
We did, and we stayed and you did great. You really did.
You were fine. And by the way, when she's looking out the window, it was when she's pointing things out, and she was still navigating.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still a nervous wreck.
Well, and here's the thing. Just traveler's tip again. If you're ever in a foreign country driving and you turn the wrong way, go the wrong, just follow through with it. Don't panic. Follow the car in front of you, and then just reroute. Because you know what? You're on vacation anyway. Yeah. You got nowhere to be.
You're not in a hurry. And, what's the worst part of your vacation? I spent an extra 3 minutes doing a U-turn in France. Really?
Right.
Oh, my gosh. That's a problem. So, no, she got us there fine. Okay, so navigation aside, and she did fine. Trust me, everything is good. We wind up at Hotel Aubriel.
Yes.
I believe is how you say that.
Yes.
And here's the deal. It's a great place, and it was just a couple of blocks away from the water's edge.
Yes, we did a really good job finding a hotel on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Because the ones down at the harbor are like pretty pricey.
Yeah, very.
Especially on New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. And so we found one that was about a 5-minute walk from the Promenade de la Croissant, which is like where the red carpet is and where the posters of the stars are. And it's basically the walk that goes where, down at the harbor, past where all the yachts pull in.
Yes.
And that's where they had the fireworks. Yeah. And so we really lucked into it because, we always do research.
Sure.
But we tried to find a hotel that wasn't one of the main ones in the harbor, but that wasn't so far back. And of course, you don't really know until you get there.
Yeah, it's hard to judge time, space, distance because everything's convenient, on the website.
Right.
Oh, that's convenient to this. And we actually did it, and we looked at Google Maps and all this stuff, and we figured out, this is just a couple blocks up the hill.
Yes.
And the hill, it's not a steep hill in that neck of the woods. So we just said, okay, we will stay there.
Yes.
And we will walk down the promenade and have some fun later.
Yes.
Everything was good.
It was great. And we had to park the car because there's not very good parking.
There is no parking.
Right.
No, not bad parking, just no parking.
And this is the second time we've really looked out with parking.
Yes.
So we actually asked them, they had a place to pull in so that you could check in.
Yes.
But then you'd have to go park the car. They were I think they were a little, they were pre-gaming because it was New Year's Eve. And so they were like, you have car. We park right here. And I was like, thanks.
That's not at all what they sounded like.
No, it's not.
Oh, do you have a car? You park right here. And there's a place to say for the auto, as you say, you park. I'm like, no, they didn't sound like that. But they were lovely people at the Hotel Aubriel.
Yes.
And they said, no, park here. And I said, well, I've got circle block go around. And the guy who's like the manager goes, no, hang on. He comes out, puts his hand up, and he starts walking. It's a one-way street that they're on. He starts walking with his hand up towards traffic. He looks at me and goes, okay, put that little car in reverse and zip in here.
Yeah. They had a little garage next to the hotel. Mm-hmm. And I think, it was public parking, pay for parking. But they had already closed it off because it was 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And they had closed everything down because everything was shutting down early because it was New Year's Eve. And so he opens it up and is pull it in right here.
He raised the
which
gate.
is parking in a space so tight, but you get it done because it's like, thank you so much. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we shoehorned this. Oh, thank you. Well, he was guiding us like, oh, come up.
Yeah. We pushed the mirrors in. Like, it was like,
how far am I away from hitting that Peugeot? He goes, you're nothing more than 15 decimeters. I'm like, okay.
And can I say we were in a standard? We were driving.
Oh, it's always stick shift.
Yes. So I was like, honey,
and this is
you might need to use the emergency brake there on the assist.
And this parking garage is basically it's vertical parking garage.
Yeah.
I mean, we get it. It just slopes straight down.
Right.
So travelers,
and we're at the very top.
Be ready to learn how to drive. If you don't drive a stick yet, get a stick car. Right, you're driving a stick shift over there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, but you can rent one. They cost more for the automatics.
Right. Yeah.
So you don't have to have a stick shift. I've always driven a stick, so no bigs.
Right.
So we get there, we park.
Yay.
Life is good. We go see the room. Life is good.
The room was really nice.
Yeah.
And it was spacious. I cannot believe we scored this deal.
Yes.
And we're going to put the link to this hotel on the Voca Vacay website so that if you go, you can go there and say, these two weirdos from America sent us. Do you remember them? They came for New Year's. They have Voca Vacay. They'll be like, no, but you'll be like so happy that you went and that we recommended it because this is a great little hotel.
It's a great little hotel. And so we pulled in and the first thing is like, oh, this is nice. This is lovely. And we took a nap.
Yeah. And then we went straight to sleep.
Then we think, hey, you know what? It's New Year's Eve.
Right.
And should we go ahead and explain right now our history with New Year's Eve?
Yes.
New Year's Eve, everybody has holidays. Some people have Valentine's Day as a special day of romance. Some people love Christmas because everybody's giving gifts and it's time for family. Thanksgiving, same way.
Yeah.
For us, and don't throw rocks at us here because this is a little bit unusual. We love New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Because New Year's Eve is inherently a party. It's always fun. And we looked down after we've been together for a couple of years. We realized we had never spent New Year's Eve. And this is not bragging. I'm not saying we do this and you should too. It's not that. It's just we like to travel. And because we're in the education field, we always have winter break off.
Yeah.
Winter break is the off season for most of the places where we go to. So we get cheaper deals.
So we always try and go somewhere new every New Year's.
Which means we have spent New Year's in different countries.
I have a list of them.
You do? Yeah.
I do.
We keep running lists. It's like, oh yeah, we spent New Year's here. And it just became this thing. We've never spent New Year's in the same place twice.
So we will add Con to the list.
France. Con, France.
Lithuania. Estonia.
Yep.
Scotland.
Oh yeah.
Saint Martin.
Saint Martin.
Bulgaria.
Yes.
And of course the USA.
And France as well now.
And now France.
Which we're adding. So yeah.
That's so fun.
Thanks to COVID, we don't know what's going to happen this
Yeah.
year coming up because I'd really like to go someplace. And
Everybody wants to go somewhere.
everybody's got cabin fever and stir crazy and blah, blah, blah. So we're just saying that New Year's has always been a special time for us.
But I have to say, hands down, this experience is one, it's like, I don't know if it might be the top of the list.
Yeah.
It's up there.
It's up there.
It was just magnificent. The fireworks display and being down at the promenade and being around all the people and the music pumping and everybody just being in a festive mood. It's like that everywhere, but for some reason, this one just felt, because it was festive yet quaint.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't feel overrun by people.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are like, well, you've never done New Year's Eve in NYC, like
New
at
York
Times
City,
Square.
Times Square with
like, and
10
I'm like,
million people. I don't want to do that. That scares me to
we
death.
would though, because
Yeah.
it would be an experience.
Yes.
If we had the opportunity to, and it was the right time and right place and blah, blah, blah. But like, it's not something I gravitate to. Large crowds make me a little nervous. So this was perfect.
Well, what's nice is that, so we wake up from our nap, the sun is a setting, dusk is a falling, and we go, let's get some snacks, and more importantly, let's grab a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get a bottle of French champagne to be in France. So we go to a convenience store.
Yeah.
And I just walk in like, it's like, I'm an American. Do you have champagne here? And they, again, nicest people. And I found it basically, if you smile, if you're just pleasant, it's like, hey, I seriously, I just need some help.
I asked like what would be something a local would get.
Yeah.
And we didn't keep the bottle or anything,
No.
but he pointed us to a good, relatively nicely priced
bottle
of champagne. I think we spent like €20 on it.
Yeah, it was chilled.
Yeah, it was chilled already, and it was really, really good.
So it's like we got that. So it's like, okay, we get this on the way. And by the way, we're not the only people in the convenience store.
No, because they're about to close.
Yeah.
Everyone's rushing.
And the champagne's just flying off the shelves. So it's like, we got that one. So suddenly it's like Black Friday over there because like, oh yeah, we all want champagne. Let's go. So we got champagne.
Yeah.
And so we take it
Back to the room.
Yeah.
And we get ready.
Yeah. And we have some snacks, dress up.
We have some snacks.
Yep.
Get ready. And then we go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With our bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
So we take our champagne and we go down to the Promenade de la Croissant.
Croissant.
I told you guys, I don't blend. We go down to the big open area by the harbor.
Yes.
Where there's a lot of people already.
Just follow the crowds, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you do. We started walking and we had like our GPS like on our phone.
Yeah.
And we were like, because we were a few blocks back.
Yeah.
We're like, what's the fastest way to get down there? And so then you start seeing people walking
and you
you're
see
like,
more people.
Follow them.
And these are what we call revelers. So we thought, well, where are you going to revel? We will revel with. And they're like, okay, let's go. So we all go down there and look, it's an outdoor concert, basically.
Yeah.
There's speakers set up. The music is a pumping. There are people I don't want to say all over the place. There's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
But it's nice because it's well lit. Felt safe the whole time.
Yeah.
And people are having a really good time.
It was like really exciting and laid back at the same time. And I don't know how they do it, but it was just class all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people were just like having a great time, cutting up. But then they were also like, hey, it's New Year's. How you doing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was really, really good.
Everybody was good. People of all ages were there. And it was just a nice little hangout. Hey, this is what we're going to do. And it was one of those surreal experiences for me because I was standing there and it's a couple minutes before midnight. I was thinking, wow, I'm doing this in the south of France.
I know. It was like, this is somewhere I've always wanted to go. And I was like, this is a really special moment.
Yeah.
And walking down, there were all these pockets of parties and everybody was kind of like in their little groups and everything. And so New Year's, the clock strikes midnight.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's this huge fireworks show that they do to the music. And it was just so amazing.
Yes.
And then after that, we just walked around and looked at stuff, but we happened into some of the really fancy hotel parties. And I'm not going to lie, we did sneak into one because because as you're walking back, you see the bars have their doors open and like some people at their apartments, they have those open.
Oh yeah.
People are just having parties.
Everyone's up.
And so but the really, really fancy hotel.
Where they had the hotel, it was the Gatsby party they had.
Yes, it was at the Intercontinental Carlton.
Look this one up on
It is a fancy hotel. Let me tell you, it's real
there's
good.
Pillars, there's like people and all this stuff. So, and here's our motto on, I don't want to say crashing parties. You don't crash a party.
No, but if you can blend and get in, go for it.
As a card-carrying certified beautiful person, I thought, hey, let's see if we can blend. So, so what we do, we just walk in like we belong there.
And they did. They were just like, right this way. And I was like, sweet. But then we ended up finding out, we got in there and it was a Gatsby ballroom party.
Yes.
So people were dressed up like 1920s flapper, like all this stuff. And I was like, whoa, we do not blend. But we walked around, we looked at stuff, we partied a little bit. It was good.
It was fun. And look, we're going to put pictures of us and what we look like on New Year's Eve. It's like, oh yeah, and you can tell we're not dressed for like a party set in 1915 or whatever it was when Gatsby was around. But it was nice and and again, it's like, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Just walk in. And here's sort of our rule of thumb. The worst thing they can do is say, sir, you shouldn't be here. It's like,
okay.
Oh, thanks. I can do a U-turn and walk out. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah.
It's just
because
like,
it was New Year's.
Yeah.
And the
That's
French
more
are
the merrier.
really cool, nice, laid back people.
Yeah.
Like, it was really, really cool.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
So we said Happy New Year.
Yes, we did.
And we smooched at midnight,
Yes.
of course, and we drank champagne.
Yes.
And everyone was great.
Yep.
And then we thought, okay.
So we go back.
Go back to the room. Just a couple blocks up.
We go back for a restful evening, a restful rest of the night.
Now, there's something to be said about this hotel. And
the French are also lovers. They're very lovely, loving people.
This is a family program, so I'm going to say is that the people in the room next to us, they were passionate.
We go back for a restful night, but we didn't get much sleep because
Come on.
there was a party still going on. It had 2 people in it.
Yeah.
And their room was right next to ours.
Yeah.
And that happened into the wee hours of the morning. Mm-hmm. And then some the next morning.
And I'm getting glared at the whole time. And she's like, someone's in love in France.
Yes.
I'm like,
actually, it was really sweet.
yeah.
It was.
And I'm still blaming jet lag going, honey,
now
I'm
listen,
tired.
the
What?
walls were not thin. This is not a cheap hotel.
No, it's a nice place.
They
So I'm
were
not
just
dogging on the hotel.
really, really in love.
They were really happy that it was
Yes.
New Year's Day.
And good for them.
Good for them. Very happy. We finally grabbed some sleep.
We do.
We go downstairs, buffet breakfast.
Yes.
And when I say buffet breakfast, it is just up on little tables and all that stuff. And here's the deal. I'm not a croissant person.
Oh, I am.
I like donuts.
Oh, give me a croissant.
No.
I will literally eat 40 croissants if you would let me.
No.
That was hyperbolic, but you know what I mean.
I want Krispy Kreme. I want Dunkin' Donuts. I want anything with just like chocolate and stuff inside of it, and it's a jelly krill or whatever. Just give it to me. But you are like croissants and all stuff.
Yes.
And this actually turned it for me, because when you've had one that's actually been made there, and I don't know if they got people in the back or down the road, there's a bakery or whatever, but holy moly, this was amazing.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I'm just thinking croissants like they're donuts, basically.
I
And
know.
I'm just hoovering these things down.
They had nice fresh jams and jellies. They had eggs cooked to order.
Mm-hmm.
So I always get mine over medium. It was cooked to perfection.
Yes.
And they had your finest meats and cheeses.
Mm-hmm.
They had yogurt.
Yes.
They had all of the good European breakfast spread stuff. Yeah. Even your Nutella.
Yes. And Nutella, if you don't know it, it's like whipped chocolate. I think it's hazelnut,
Yeah,
but it's like
it is.
chocolate stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's so good.
It's like peanut butter made out of chocolate. It goes on everything.
Yeah, and they, of course, had really good coffee and tea, and it was just really, really nice.
So we did that. We
Yeah.
enjoyed breakfast, and we thought after our lovely repast, let's go outside again.
Yes.
Because now it's morning.
And we can see this place in the daylight and, like, tool around and, like, look at stuff. And it was really cool.
It is. It's a beautiful place. Cannes is a lovely place to walk around, even when there's no film festival going on, because all the high dollar shops are there.
Oh, yeah.
You get down, and we actually took some time because, and this is the thing about the Promenade. There is a long red carpet, and there are pictures and posters of famous movie stars, famous directors, everyone you would recognize. I was like, hey, George, I can't remember how many times I saw George Clooney images going,
that's true.
oh, yeah, that's quintessential South of France dude, and all,
Right.
you know, who's around there now.
Yeah.
But you see all these things, and it is an experience, even if the film festival is not in, because I believe the festival's in May.
Yeah.
It's still a wonderful place to go to. We
It's
had a
very
lot of
cool
fun.
to look at everything, to see of course, the high-end shops, Gucci, Prada, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, of course, the yachts. Go down, look at the yachts. But, yeah, it's really cool to walk the where they've walked, like on this red carpet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we did that. And there's really cool little things to do. Like, look at little kiosks. And they had Ferris wheels?
They had like
which
little
one?
merry-go-round.
Merry-go-rounds, yeah.
There's a very
Like
tiny...
little parks.
Yeah.
That are like just little like pieces of a block of you know, on the street that are just like grassy areas with like people would take their kids and their dogs, and it was just really lovely.
And everyone's very well behaved, and all the kids are happy and French, and all the
Yeah.
dogs are like French poodle type. Everyone's just like, la, la, la. And it is such an out-of-body experience, because I keep thinking, 24 hours ago I was on a flight and I was exhausted now.
Right.
And suddenly it's like, wow, it's go time.
Yeah.
And we go down, and again, this on the French Riviera, it's on the waterfront. You go down, and oh my gosh, the boats, the yachts.
And there's a beach there.
Yes.
Yeah, and there were some people out playing on the beach. And then there's, of course, the convention center. And so that is, you know, where the actual big film festival takes place.
Oh, the Palais des Festivals et des Congrès.
Yes, but I don't know if, you know.
I'd probably
however
butcher
we really,
the pronunciation of that.
However we really pronounce it, but yeah.
So we took pictures of it.
Yeah.
And said, hey, these are the doors that these guys walk into when they're here.
Yeah.
But, we were.
So it was really cool to see that. Yeah.
The A-list people go there. We're like the not B-list.
So tell me about the festival.
The Cannes Festival.
Yes,
Let's
please.
point something out. Let's talk festival. We've actually won something from the Cannes Film Festival.
Not the big
not that
A-list one. But we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Cannes Film Festival, basically what happens is that when you go there, this started out in 1946.
I cannot even. That's really cool.
And they didn't call it, let's talk about the award, because everybody talks about the award as the Palme d'Or.
The Palme d'Or.
The Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
They started in 1946, the Grand Prix of the International Film Festival, and they want to give an award to the best director.
Oh, okay.
So they give him the Grand Prix. Then in 1954, they said, we're going to have a competition with the jewelers around here to design a palm.
Oh, cool.
A palm is a tribute to the coat of arms for the city of Cannes.
Oh, I had no idea.
This is true. So they gave away they awarded the first Palme d'Or. And this is back in the mid-50s to Delbert Mann for the movie Marty, which starred, I believe, Ernest Borgnine was in that.
Oh, I had no
back
idea.
in the 50s, years and years ago. So they did that, and then in the mid-60s they went away from it. They went back to the Grand Prix.
Okay.
So they took a break from the Palme d'Or.
Okay.
In 1975 they brought it back, and it's been redesigned. So it's not a classic design where what you see now is what they had 50 years ago. It doesn't work that way. They've kind of updated and tweaked it a little bit, a couple of revisions. And when they have the festival, I did not know this, just a bit of trivia. The Palme d'Ors are delivered to the festival at the absolute last minute, just a few hours before the closing ceremony. They don't keep them in the back in a closet with some dude guarding them named Philippe. They have some guy named Philippe who drives them in literally at the last minute, so they're not damaged, they're not stolen, so nothing takes place like that.
Yeah.
They're just ready.
He must be in really good health. My blood pressure would be sky high.
Yeah, no pressure here, Philippe.
This makes sense to me though, because they do the same thing for the Academy Awards.
Really?
I believe there's it's the company who prepares everything and does the tabulations or something.
Yes.
They bring the envelopes in briefcases.
Yeah.
I believe this is true. I'm actually if I look this up and it's wrong, we'll let the listeners know next time. Sure. But I believe they bring that at the last minute and the awards, the actual statuettes or whatever,
Oscars.
the Oscars, at the last minute because they don't want anybody walking off with this stuff.
No. And
okay,
so,
listen, even if I was Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
And I saw Leonardo DiCaprio's Oscar, I'd probably swipe it.
Yeah.
I just think it was funny.
Yeah.
I'd be like, ha ha ha. And so they don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what happens when you turn your back, Leo.
That's right.
Take that.
Anyway, yeah.
So
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So the thing is, there have been some notable winners.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about how we won something, which is con related.
We did. Do you want me to talk about that now?
No, let's talk about the other notable winners first.
Yes, please.
Because other people have actually won at con. Let me run some names by you and see who you recognize.
Do tell.
As famous directors. The Palme d'Or is to the director of the best, it's the best stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I skipped a lot of years, especially because this is an international film festival. So if I skipped the winners from France or another country, it's because I'm too embarrassed. I can't pronounce the names. I'm not that familiar with the films.
Okay.
Sorry. Robert Altman's MASH won in 1970.
Wow.
Francis Ford Coppola, The Conversation in 1974.
Wow.
Okay. Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver in 1976.
Wow.
You knew that one.
Big fans of all of these.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now, another Francis Ford Coppola one in 79. So he won in 74 and also in 79. I didn't know that. Within
Apocalypse Now is like my all-time favorite film.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So it won Steven Soderbergh's Sex, Lies, and Videotape. That won in 1989.
Wow.
And now your favorite director of all time,
David Lynch.
David Lynch. You are just, this is your guy.
I love him.
Wild at Heart. Have I seen that?
No. But you need to.
I have a feeling I need to see
It's
this now.
fantastic.
1990, he wins.
I don't doubt that. Yeah, because it was fantastic, and he's a great auteur.
Coen Brothers.
Oh, love them.
Barton Fink.
Love it.
91.
Love it.
Pulp Fiction by that Tarantino guy, 94.
Love it.
Also a great director. And all these are great directors, by the way, obviously. Roman Polanski's The Pianist in 2002. And then most recently, in 2019, it was Parasite, Bong Joon-ho. He won in 2019.
We still need to see Parasite.
And yeah, thanks Netflix. Put it on there. But here's the deal. And I say that's the most recent one because COVID canceled Cannes this year in 2020.
Right.
But in 2019, he did. And it was the same year that they won, Parasite won Best Picture.
Yeah.
The Oscars. So that I think that's only happened twice.
Wow.
Where someone's won the Oscar as well as the Palme d'Or.
I love all of these filmmakers. The one thing is I do wish that I wish of anything in our craft that there were more recognized women.
Yes.
But I love all of these directors.
Jane Campion won for The Piano.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, and I think she was the first woman to. But yeah, it's sort of a disproportionate thing.
Yeah.
But it is an international film festival. If you want to see some great movies, and that's the thing, people are always wondering what should we watch on Netflix tonight, or what should we get at Redbox if these things are available, or on Prime. Go ahead and take a look at stuff that was judged the best of the world for that year.
Yes, and I'm always excited to see what makes it out to, distributed after con that I can actually get and view after it's like more worldwide. Because it's just it's the epitome of the A-list film festival.
Yes.
And I just think it's so interesting to see what comes out of there.
And it's nice because look, the Cannes Film Festival, it is an amazing thing. It's a wonderful thing. And Marie actually told me once that we've done documentaries, and there was one that she's like, we won in Cannes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we won in Cannes. So suddenly it's like, I'm with the Coen brothers, and I'm with Tarantino. Yeah, Scorsese.
I'm like,
he's going to call me
okay.
back.
Slow your roll.
Okay.
Not that one.
Apparently, I was misinformed. What happened, my dear?
There are some other boutique festivals in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them I put our latest documentary in. And this is the Cannes International Independent Film Festival.
Oh.
And this year it takes place between October 18th and the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really cool little boutique festival that has just started, basically. And they run a slate of films that are shown on the website. And then they run some of their top billed films that they've chosen to take place in the Espace Miramar, which is the cultural center. It's a 400-seat concert hall right there on the harbor.
Right.
And so we are one of the ones that's been slated for online.
Yes.
It's a really big honor because I can say, because we've been there, number
Yes.
one, we saw the building. And so I believe it used to be a hotel. So I looked and it looked familiar and I was like, oh my gosh, we saw that.
Yeah, we totally did.
So there's that, but then also it's just an honor to be like spoken of and recognized in a place where all these other really famous people are, even though it's like not the A-list festival
Yeah.
of Cannes,
Yeah.
but they're recognizing other filmmakers in the area. And I think that's really cool. And so I would, give a shout out to this festival. We'll put them on the website.
Absolutely.
We'll tweet them, we'll add them, we'll do all the socials with them. And we're really, really, I'm so gracious to be honored there.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, so when we say, oh, we won Cannes, but not that one. No, we still won one that in our field, this is a great festival
It's
to
a
be
big
in.
deal.
And I love these guys.
It's
for
international
the recognition.
for
So it's
us.
like,
Yeah.
so we love that. So here's the deal. So, but most people think of Cannes, they go, oh, but what about the film festival with the Soderbergh and the George Clooney and the Leonardo DiCaprio? That's how they would say it. So here's the deal. Sometimes people just want to go.
Well, and there's a great love of art
Yes.
in this city. And you can tell because of this is the cultural center where this takes place. They show some of the Cannes film from the actual Cannes Film Festival also at this convention center.
Yes.
And so, but they have, when they're not showing films, they have art installations and they have paintings up and like, it's, like a gallery. And
Yes.
so like, you can go see all of that too. They really have an appreciation and love for the arts.
So internationally, if you want to go there sometime and just get the culture, and
Yeah.
there's all sorts of really good stuff to
Yeah,
do there
for
all
sure.
the time. Now, let's say you want to go that 1 week
Okay.
in May.
Okay.
That you can actually afford the tickets to fly over there and stay in the hotels.
Right.
But let's say you go there to
For the Cannes Film Festival.
Cannes Film Festival
Right.
that you're thinking about.
Sure.
And let's say you want to go. And now you're thinking, hang on, you're thinking, no, yeah,
I heard
yeah.
this was impossible.
It is not impossible.
Okay,
Nothing
all right.
is impossible
Tell
in France.
me.
So what happens if, let's say you want to get a ticket and go into the Cannes Film Festival.
Okay.
You want to buy a ticket.
I would love that.
Okay, well, you can't. They don't sell
don't
tickets.
doubt
They
that.
do not sell tickets there at
Yeah.
all, but you can get in for free.
Okay.
So this is where
Okay.
it's not a trick question, guys. Here's what you do. You go to the place where they have the film festival, the Palais des Festivals et des Congrès. When in doubt, for French, just say it really, really fast and hope you get through it. So what you do is you dress up nattily. You dress up nice. You
make it nice.
You wear there's a dress code
Yes.
for Cannes.
Yes,
It is
I'm
basically
sure.
tuxedo. It's a black bow tie for men. Women wear ball gowns.
Sure.
Okay, so no pantsuits for you, no shorts for me.
Okay.
You have to look your best.
Dressed to the nines.
And here's why. And here's where this comes into play.
Spiffy. Yeah.
Then you go to the Palais des Festivals et des Congrès. You go there, and then you wait outside.
Okay.
You wait with everybody else.
Thank
So-
God it's May and it's not the middle of the summer because I'd be sweating.
But here's what happens. You dress the best you can.
Okay.
However good you've looked for prom, your wedding, whatever are the big important things in your life, that you look like a pauper compared to how you're going to look for this night. You have to look so exquisitely over the top. Just great.
That's me every day.
Yeah. Hey, look at this, ladies. And then you just stand outside.
Okay, cool.
Because the filmmakers and the actors, the A-list people,
Okay.
they are given a number of tickets each. We don't know how many tickets, but they're given like a handful of tickets each.
Yeah.
They are penalized if their tickets are not used. Because Cannes doesn't want to play to an empty room.
Sure.
So what happens? Let's take George Clooney as the example.
Yeah.
Let's say he gets 6 tickets.
Okay.
So it's George and 4 friends. That's 5 people. He's got a spare ticket now.
Oh my.
He is penalized if he doesn't give it. And so it's like a sport. So what happens is they walk through. It's like, So who's standing around? And you can hold up a sign that says, need one ticket, please. I'm like, you do whatever you want to do. But so it's not quite like The Price is Right where you're trying to get, hey, come on down or whatever. But it kind of like is a high dollar, hey, come on down.
Right.
If you are chosen, they give you the ticket.
Oh my gosh.
And you walk in with George Clooney and his entourage.
Now, do you get to sit with them as well?
I don't know.
You don't know if they're assigned seats.
I don't know if there's assigned seats. I think that here's the deal. George goes to the front row.
Sure.
But it's a bigger place. So you're just like in the back or in the upper echelon or something.
My gosh.
So you're in there. But you're not in the front with George because when the camera pans over, they basically want George and whoever, but they want to fill the hall. That's where you are.
I cannot even imagine. I wonder if you get to keep the ticket. I would frame that sucker. Like, that would be so cool. Oh my God.
So there are rules of decorum, by the way.
Sure.
And this is the actual red carpet. By the way, here's something that we found out. The red carpet, they change it 3 times a day during the film festival.
Stop.
Because they want to look nice.
Well, sure.
Also, they do not want the stars stopping taking selfies because apparently some people started the selfie trend there and they're like, no, this is not what we do here. So you have to keep moving.
Okay.
So, it is very, it's kind of formal-ish. Yeah. Okay, you're wearing a bow tie or you're wearing a ball gown for the ladies. And so you go in. They advise you to do the following.
Okay.
1, don't start pestering people for autographs.
Oh, well, for sure.
Number 2, don't get out your cell phone, start taking a selfie with Angelina Jolie or George Clooney. Just don't do that.
Right.
Don't drink too much.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure somebody would get in there and be like, load me up.
Load me up.
I'm here with the stars.
Because this is the thing, that this is such a big deal. I did not know this either. This is the second largest media event in the world next to the Olympics.
I had no idea.
Because it is an international. So unlike the Oscars, which is basically based around the United States films, and there's, foreign films or whatever, sometimes you'll have like Parasite come through.
Right.
This is an international festival. It is second for media passes, media coverage in the world annually.
I had no idea.
I guess, and since the Olympics are every 4 years, every 2 years, summer, so there's going to be years that this is the biggest media event in the world.
That is nuts.
Is that crazy or what?
I love it.
So it's kind of a thing to get in there.
And I love that it's about the arts. Like, I love that it's about film.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool.
I love this idea. Yeah. So you can get in.
Yeah.
You can get in for free. Which leads us...
I would leave you behind.
Yo, you like a vapor trail. I'd be like, hey, I stopped off to get us a Coke, honey. Honey, where'd you go? And you'd be, bam, nothing left. Be like,
see ya.
See you at the hotel, maybe. Because after that, George Clooney's like, well, I'm going to take the yacht out to the French Riviera. You wouldn't even break stride. You would just keep right on going up the gangplank. We're gone.
Husband? What husband? Who are you talking about?
I remember that guy. Yeah, he's the guy who drove me here in kilometers. So here's what happens.
Basically, he got on to me about my change.
Hey. I'm counting Euro coins. So here's what happens now. Let's say that you get in.
Okay.
This is a perfect segue into one of my favorite parts of the show, where sometimes you don't really see eye to eye with someone on a vacation. You might have a little bit of a disagreement. Little bit. Oh, here's what we have. This is the portion of the show where we just assume the roles of 2 other people from the series Friends,
right.
Monica and Joey, where they talk about things from different points of view in case there's a disagreement on a vacation, like at the Cannes Film Festival. You ready to play this right now, dear?
Let's do it.
Oh, it's time for Monica versus Joey.
It's game on. It's time for Monica versus Joey.
So let's just pick it up from there, that you're at the Cannes Film Festival. No, I'm not belaboring this, but there's just different points of view when you get in, how you would act.
Sure.
When you get in, like, let's say if you are taken by George Clooney, and he's like, hey, you get, oh, Mike. Wow, you're packing a bag already, I see.
See ya.
And let's say I'm taken, I'll get.
He's just one of my favorites.
Yeah, sure. Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
who I get. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Not too shabby. Everything is good.
You did good. You traded up.
Oh, honey, I love you so much.
Hi, Rovro.
She deals with George Clooney in a heartbeat. So Monica versus Joey goes like this.
Yeah.
Let's say that one of us gets in.
Sure.
And again, they have these rules where it's the A-list, and these are like powerful directors and titans of movies and film and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Monica, how would you act if they said you may have a champagne and you may mingle and all this stuff? And can you put on that act as if you belong?
Totally blend.
You would blend?
I would play by the rules, and I would be really like irritated if I saw someone running amok. Like, I would just be like, nope. I'm respectful, especially because this is our craft. Like, this is what we do, you know, when we're not doing the podcast.
Right.
Like, I really respect what we do. And to be at the epitome of it, I would be so like, okay, these are the rules. I will play by them. And I will not drink too much. I will not, you know, act a fool. I will not shove sandwiches in my gullet, even though I'm sure all of the hors d'oeuvres and everything are amazing and I would love them. I would totally just be like, that's cool. And I would savor the experience.
Okay. Well, I'm glad because gullet, in French, the goulet. I would be shoveling things in my goulet so hardcore. I'm going to take the Joey roll on this. I'm going in. There's going to be trays of finger foods.
Oh,
going by.
God.
No, Garçon. You know, the entire tray. Okay. If there's two most dangerous words to say, open bar. Okay. Here we go. Not only that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be schmoozing. I'm going to be talking, hey, Georgia, Angelina. Hey, Ange, how you doing? Let's get a picture together.
Ange.
Try to score some phone numbers and all that stuff. So you want to hang out later on? Let's get a pizza.
Oh, my
Come
Lord.
on. I mean, really? Okay, I understand the craft of film and the importance of the Palme d'Or, but hey, one, there's food. Two, there's snacks. Three, there's rich people, and I'm hanging out with them. I would
Famous rich people.
Famous rich people. Oh, they're going to remember me by the time the day's over.
You would totally get kicked out. You'd be taking a selfie with a sandwich in your mouth, holding a cocktail.
Yes, I would.
And you would have no shame.
No, not at all.
And I'd be like, I don't know who he is, but could you please escort him out of here?
Yeah. Oh, you would turn on me.
Aw.
I'd be going up to David Lynch saying, hey, Dave, I don't want a selfie with you. Can you take my picture? I'm holding a sandwich in one hand. I don't need a selfie with this guy, but you, of course. So, no, I'm just saying it's different points of view. I would be saying I'm going to live life as if it is a buffet.
It is tempting, isn't it?
I am hoovering food.
When would you ever be able to do this again? Unless you actually were some big movie titan.
Yeah.
And like a big movie mogul, like totally recognized, like big A-lister. Like, you will never get to do this again. I actually really understand your logic. I'm just I would be too embarrassed. I would be like, I would not want anyone to look at me and go, that's the crazy person from the street we let in that looked okay. And now we're not going to do this anymore. She shut it down.
Okay.
There would be like tales of like, I don't want to live with that guilt. Like tales of when I came in and like just acted crazy.
Yes.
Like they're like, you know, that redhead from Tennessee, that's what shut down letting anybody into the Cannes Film Festival from the streets.
That was
like,
her, the purpose of your life is to serve as a warning to others.
Right.
And I understand your point of view too, where it's just like, you know what, while you're there, play nice because it's their sand pit, and it's like, okay, just go or play sandbox. Sorry, but it's just we're gonna play nice. It's gonna be good. Everything's fine.
But I do understand because I would want to try all the things.
It's sort of like if someone walked in right now with a plate of Oreo cookies. You can have one Oreo. It's like, yeah, but there's 20 on the plate. What are we rationing? What happened? We lose a war? Come on, make with the cookies. So that being said,
honey, I love you so much.
I love you so much. But you would bail on me for George Clooney in a second, just like in a second. I tell you.
You know me so well.
That being said, you know what? We're going as we move forward on this. People are saying, "Hey, it sounds good. We want to go to Cannes, whether it's the festival or just the city itself."
Right.
You know what they need right now?
Tell me.
They need this travel nugget.
Ooh, I like a good travel nugget.
Upgrade my travel brain. What do you got for these nuggets?
I got some nuggets. I got your nuggets. We always have travel nuggets here. Little nuggets of wisdom and nuggets of joy. And this week, you get a twofer. You get 2 nuggets for the price of 1.
I love it.
We should charge double for this podcast. As it turns out, and we're doing this for a reason, because if you go to the city of Cannes versus going to the Film Festival of Cannes, 2 totally different websites.
Sure.
There is some overlappage, but it's going for what you're going for, basically. So if you go to Cannes, if you go to the city, the website you want, of course, we put these on our website, vocavacay.com. We put these up under our nuggets page. The city one is con-destination.com, or it's con-destination.com.
Cool.
That's the website for the city.
Okay.
And it has links to all the hotels, the attractions, and how to get there and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, cool.
For the festival itself, which you can't go to unless you're dressed up nicely.
Oh, yes.
And they invite you in. Festival-con.com. So festival-con.com.
Yes.
That is the official website for the Cannes Film Festival.
Love it.
So if you want to go there, and it's one of those things we look at, and we put these things on the website for you on vocavacay.com. So you go, oh yeah, I want to go. I want to go to the city. Boom. It's right
Yeah.
there. Hey, I'm going to try to go to the festival. Okay. Happens every May. Didn't happen this past one because of COVID. But in the future, if you want to try that, absolutely, those are the websites you got to check out.
Yeah, because there's so much stuff to do. We didn't do it all. We went for New Year's Eve, and there was a lot of stuff closed the next day. And
Yes.
it was like, you can go do so many other things. So you need to check it out. And if we go back, we will do more stuff.
Yes.
It's a really lovely place.
It is wonderful, and we had such a good time. The people were great. And again, we got to go in the off season, which was nice for us because, hey, it's another place for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And remember, you can check out the Nuggets online. And as we're doing the research for these programs online, we also come across every single time, without fail, we come across something like, this is really actually happening. So when we close out the show, we always have a website story we have to draw your attention to just to prove we're not making this up. And
is
of course,
this possible?
Yeah, it is. It's very possible. And this is what we call What the Holy Guacamole.
What the holy guacamole are you talking about?
Okay, this is one of these cultural things that Marie's going to be more hip to than I am because you actually watched this show with Will Smith, The Fresh Prince of BelAir.
Oh, yeah. That was my jam.
That is your jam.
This was like, I was in late middle school, early high school in the 90s. And like, I would come home and it was at that 3 or 4 o'clock time slot. It would be on. I got home before my parents would get off work. So I had the TV to myself.
Dangerous.
And I would just hang out. I'd eat my ramens or whatever, like, whatever kids do when they come home from school.
Yeah.
And it was totally my jam. Will Smith, Uncle Phil, his best friend Jazz. Like, I loved it. So, I can still hear the song in my head.
Oh, yeah?
I'll take just a minute and sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called BelAir.
Wow.
Like, that was so my jam.
Wow.
I loved it.
When did you start rapping? That's impressive. Well,
He's the DJ. I'm the rapper. Oh. That'd be you.
Let me tell you why this is so important, why it's on our radar for the guacamole segment this time around. It's because, so the premise is that Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, he goes over to BelAir, and he's, in Philadelphia or something like that?
Yeah, like he's from Philly. He gets mixed in with the wrong crowd. So his mom sends him out to the extended family in LA.
Yes.
And Uncle Phil's a lawyer, and they are rich.
They are rich, and they're in BelAir.
Yes.
So this enclave. It's very nice. And they're in a mansion.
Yes.
The mansion is the important part of this story.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Hit me to your knowledge.
Airbnb.
Okay.
They have got the mansion. You can rent this sucker out.
Airbnb now has something to do with this?
Airbnb, they have something to do with it.
That's
Check
nuts.
this out. That Airbnb is now using the mansion, and they don't own it, but they are borrowing it. They're using it for 5 separate stays during the month of October. These are one-night stays only.
My gosh.
Okay. On October 2nd, 5th, 8th, 11th, and 14th, it's just $30 a night. And you get Will Smith's wing of the mansion.
Oh my God.
The real mansion.
That would be
the real
really,
thing.
really cool.
So
I can still see it in my mind.
it is. And it's only $30 a night, and it's $1 for each year since the show debuted. The show actually came on in September of 1990.
Oh, wow.
So we're in 2020 now. So 30 years ago,
Wow.
Airbnb is like, hey, $30. And they could do this for so much more
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Yeah, they could. Here's the deal. Will's
Okay.
wing of the mansion, you have access to the bedroom,
Yeah.
the bathroom,
Yeah.
the dining room, the poolside
I
lounge.
love it. I remember all these things.
And throwing this in as a bonus, you can also raid Will's closet. You get vintage clothing or a new pair of Air Jordans.
Yeah.
You can get all these things.
Wow.
And now
I remember the Air Jordans.
So here's the deal. So if you were actually if you won this,
Yeah.
you would totally walk in and go, I know where this is. This will all be very recognizable and familiar
Yes,
to you.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, but not to you.
No, I missed Fresh Prince completely.
Yeah.
It's just I was in the wrong time zone or time frame.
Well,
where
no,
it
and
just,
you're older than me,
Yeah.
so you at that time you were doing something totally different in your life.
Yeah, I wasn't
So,
watching
yeah.
TV as much. And it's just like,
Right.
okay, but I'm aware that's a big cultural iconic thing.
For
I know
sure.
who Will Smith is. I'm sure he's gone to the Cannes Film Festival many times. But it's
Yeah.
like, so this is kind of a cool thing.
Yes.
So kudos to Airbnb for pulling this off. Very hip.
Wow.
And Will Smith, the whole gang. In fact, Will Smith and the entire cast of Fresh Prince of BelAir, they're promoting this heavily.
Now who can go? I can go. Can I go?
You could go if, and there's a caveat,
Okay.
or as the French say, a caveat. You can only go if you're an LA County resident.
Aw.
Sorry. And you have to be 2 people and you have to live in the same house.
Oh.
And this is, thanks COVID for ruining this for all of us.
Yeah.
Because they don't want people traveling in, flying in or something like that. That's always dicey.
Yeah.
And you have to already be living together.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you and some guy from down the road because, again, travel. So if you live with someone else, and if the 2 of you want to go do this, you're in LA County, you can apply.
That sounds
You
cool.
can totally do this.
Although I'm sad that I can't go because I don't live in LA County.
That's okay. I'll rap for you about the Prince of BelAir. That's all I know. It is so embarrassing.
No, you're good.
Yeah, on that note, I think we need to wrap it up. Are you good, Marie?
I'm good, Frank.
Okay, so anyway, that's Marie over there.
That's Frank.
And, thanks for checking out Voca Vacay. As always, you go to our website, vocavacay.com.
Yep.
We're on all the socials now.
Yes, we are.
And there's
Hit us up on the Instagrams.
instant Grammys.
Tweet us.
Tweet us. And,
Look at us on the Book of Faces.
and we're on the YouTubes.
Yes, we
See,
are.
You can see us waving at you. How's it going? Good to see you. And of course, and we mean that to our new friends in Bangladesh, United Kingdom, and in Russia. Thanks for playing along with us, as
Yeah.
always. So, until the next episode, which comes on in about 2 weeks, as always, we tell you to,
Don't forget to live vicariously through yourself.
live vicariously through yourself. Very important.
And vacation like it's your job.
Vacation like it's your job. Hey, we'll wrap it up. That's another show in the books for us. And of course, we'll see you in 2 weeks, which is about a fortnight. So we'll see you in a fortnight.
Yay. See you then.
Sounds great. Love you. Miss you. Mean it. Bye.
Don't forget to click subscribe. As always, hashtag Voca Vacay at Voca Vacay and visit vocavacay.com.